In the same vein, we're talking about like Capcom. We're gonna talk about like they said that Capcom announced that Street Fighter Five is going to be getting a season 5 DLC plus
Oh
costume
boy, here we
contest,
go.
costume
Here we
contest.
go,
So
bro,
all right,
bro.
you know what? What do you? All right, so let's get you guys' thoughts on this real quick.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
bro. I kind of had a feeling that it wasn't over, and even Maximilian was like, "Oh yeah, it's done." Because, and I quoted him too. He was like, "Yeah, they did Seth. There's no way they'd be able to just reprogram more characters because Seth, he has a move from every character in the game." And so I was just like, "Okay, that kind of does make sense." But I'm like, knowing Capcom, it ain't over because I didn't get some of the characters that I wanted in the game. And so season 5, they're promising that it's going to be good as far as the characters, and some of the characters have already been leaked as far as possibly coming into the game. We got a lot of people are mad about this, but Elena might be coming. DiCaprio, she might
Hmm.
be coming in. Of course, they got my girl Rose. I will be
Oh,
happy
they're bringing back
if they
Rose.
put my girl Rose. Yes, Rose, Oro, and
El Forte?
um, nah, bro, nah, bro, nah, he ain't coming
El
back, bro.
Fuerte.
But
Oh man.
but Rose, Oro, and Makoto is very popular. She's like
Yeah.
extremely popular. But I'm hoping, Rose, Oro, and Saddam. That's my pick. That's my pick. If they put all of them in the game, oh, I'm back on full force. I'm back on. And I think also, Maximilian was saying that these are characters that they might have been working on and just didn't get put in the game because he was saying like how they had Birdie done and Saddam done, and they were like, all right, we're going with Birdie. So this content might have already been done,
Uh,
and they're just like, hey, well, we're dealing with this situation right now. We might as well just put it out, just finish it and put it out. So if that's the case, let's get some more. Let's get some, fan service. Give us our characters so people can finally play this game, and I'll be happy with it. But it could go either way. It could go either way. Capcom. It's Capcom. They always got something in their pocket.
yeah.
So, but I can't wait to see what they who they decide to put in. Hopefully it's some characters that I look forward to playing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So yeah,
Let's see. What you call it? Octavian, our boy TVFGC says, yeah, I heard Rose, Oro, Elena, Rolento, and maybe somebody.
yeah, we're Lento.
Rolento.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Ooh, if he is as strong as he was in Street Fighter 4,
Let's go.
it's gonna be between him and Elena. Because I don't know why Elena was getting so much hate. I guess she got a lot of hate in Street Fighter 4 towards
Yeah.
the end. She got a lot of hate, and people who to this day they're like, no, we do not want her in Street Fighter 5. I
Dang.
had no problem with her because I was rocking with her in Third Strike,
Yeah.
so I'm all for it, and Street Fighter Cross Tekken, so I'm all for it. But yeah, if they put, and of course, Dan is teased in the store when you go click on the in-game store. His sister from out of nowhere is
Yeah.
like, Dan Hibiki will come out next, so he has a good chance of being in because I mean you can't have a Street Fighter game without Dan. I mean he's the
I don't know about
comedy
Dan.
Shoto.
Oh
Hey,
boy.
Dan has
Might
proved
have to wait till
himself.
season 10.
Dan has proved himself. Dan has proved himself. He's
Not
the
not
comic
the Ono
relief.
time though. I don't know what
He's
he
the
did to Ono
comics
though.
he's the comic shoulder. Hey, bro, this is
Ono
good.
has a hate for him. There's
Hey,
no doubt. I don't know why. I
hey,
can tell. Ono must have some hate for
why?
him. I don't
Nah,
know why.
nah, nah. He ain't got no hate for him.
Okay,
Nah,
we'll see. We'll see if there's a
nah.
season 10 because I think that's the season he'll come out.
I, I
Oh
would,
yeah,
I'd like to
yeah.
see Sean again, to be honest with you. Like, outside of the
Yeah, I
That would
used
be
to
nice.
rock with Sean. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
There's a few
My
characters
issue,
I don't know got a lot of hate for though.
my issue with
Mm-hmm.
the Street Fighter series in general is that they always have like, it seems like in terms of the storyline, they're always kind of skipping around, you know. So you're
Mm-hmm.
not completely
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I feels like
Yeah.
okay, this is naturally Street Fighter 4 and then Street Fighter 5, but then like it, I don't know, man.
They don't ever put my boy DJ in there either.
DJ.
I mean,
They never will.
you know, a lot of he was in 4. He was in 4.
Yeah.
You didn't play 4?
I mean, I just know that he's dead after 4 for some reason.
What? But that was
Bro,
the last.
what are you
I mean,
talking
that was,
about, bro?
that was the last game. Though.
I'm
They
sorry,
could just easily put him in this
We
one.
You never
we
hear
don't-
DJ about season 5. I mean, Street Fighter 5. You never hear any rumors. Or any...
Bro, he got his time in 4. I'm sorry.
man.
I need
Oh,
Rose.
man.
I need
man.
Rose, Oro, and Saddam. We
Oh, he
ain't
had
seen
his
them in a
time.
minute.
He had his time.
I mean, Rose is my favorite, so I'm kind of biased.
I
Rose is
love
one of my
DJ.
favorites.
I love
But
DJ.
we ain't seen. I like DJ too, but you know
Oh,
he had his time in 4.
Oh, man.
He had his time in 4.
What do you do? You take him out bad? You take him out bad?
No. You know, it's just
he
a
said he
lot
had
of
his
people.
time.
You know, a lot of people still asking for people from 4. Like, why? They just were in the last game. Sorry.
He's awesome.
I mean,
awesome.
technically speaking, I mean, this was my like. You could say that about like Ryu and Ken. It's like they're in every game. Why do they got to be in Street Fighter again?
Yeah, bro, let's not go there. Because they almost messed up Street Fighter 3 with that. They almost messed up with Street Fighter 3.
Freaking! I remember they said like,
don't get started with
Sean
Street Fighter
used to be
3.
freaking beast, and then they were like, oh man, you know what? We can't have like 3 powerful Shotos. Like, I mean, can you imagine if like they had like said, hey, you know what? We're gonna take Ryu and Ken out of the game for a while, and then like just replace him with just Sean, like just Sean by himself. Bro.
They almost did it, bro.
That would have been
Bro,
sick.
you didn't hear about it?
Yeah,
nah, bro, because they had Street Fighter 3. They did some like they had people test it out, and it was horrible. It was horrible. No Ryu and no Ken, and they were like, "What the hell is this game? This ain't Street Fighter, bro." They were like, "Uh-oh, yeah, we gotta put them in. We can't do this," because they were trying to do something different and new. They were trying to do the next, iteration of Street Fighter.
Yeah.
With no Ken or Ryu.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. It didn't work.
They're the faces of the game.
Yeah. You can't.
It's like, and this is
faces
why,
of the
like, and this, I hate to even say this, but this is why when people are like, well, why Capcom do this? Why does Capcom like not, in some cases, not really innovate? In some cases, is because anytime they try to do anything new, they always get some kind of crazy backlash about it. And you know what I mean? And especially if it's an established franchise and they try to make a big change, they always get huge backlash for it. It happened then, and it happened in Breath of Fire too, for certain. You remember Breath of Fire 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody loved those games. Breath of Fire 5, when they said, okay, we're going to be doing like a different kind of style with the gameplay, and then people like were like, oh man, this game sucks. This game sucks. I'm like,
Yeah.
I remember I had a buddy, I have a friend of mine who says that, well, it's not a bad RPG game, it's just a bad Breath of Fire game. And I'm like, nah, dude.
Yeah.
Because it's like what constitutes a quote unquote good Breath of Fire game. You know what I mean? Like it has like the main character has Ryu. Yeah. See, we even got Ryu in another game.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah.
It's got Ryu. It's got Nina. It's got a dude that can turn into a dragon. I mean, what else do you need? What else does there need to be other than Ryu, Nina, and the ability for Ryu to turn into a dragon for it to be a good Breath of Fire game? I mean, how could it be a good art? How could it not be a bad? How could it be a good RPG but not be a good Breath of Fire game? You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh well, it wasn't like the other ones. That's I'm sorry, that's just not like a good reason to me. You know, like this game wasn't like the other ones, so that by definition it's garbage. It's like, no, dude, it's just a different kind of game. The game doesn't need to be the same every single time for it to be a good game in the franchise. If you don't like that kind of type of game, that's different. You know, if that's not your kind of, if that's not what you like to see, that's different. That okay, fine. You have a preference. Everybody has preferences. But to try to make a definitive statement about the quality of a game, like to say, you know what I mean? Like, if say, oh, Street Fighter sucks now because Ken and Ryu weren't in it. I mean,
Oh, you would hear it though.
yeah. I mean,
You
if you were to
definitely
take,
would hear it.
Yeah,
You
it
know.
would be a little
Yeah.
weird not seeing them in it.
yeah,
That'd
I
be
Yeah.
mean,
kind of weird.
I mean, it would be weird, but would it necessarily be a bad game because they're not in it?
No, but people don't think that deep.
You know.
I agree
No,
with you, Evan. People just don't
story-wise,
think
it would be a bad game. Like story-wise, it would be because it would just be okay. Well, don't no
Yeah.
story then. You couldn't
Yeah,
have a
because
story.
Yeah, but let's be honest,
those
bro.
are the
though,
center characters of the game.
Satsu-
Those are
Watch it now, because people were upset there wasn't no arcade or story mode. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
watch
but like, I mean, how far can you take like the whole thing with Ryu
Casuals
and
love arcade and story mode.
the
Casuals
Satsui
love
no
that.
Hado and stuff like that? How much further are we gonna take that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh my god, Ryu is so strong. But then he can turn into evil Ryu and stuff like that. It's like, all right, man, how much further are you gonna take that? You know what I mean? Like he's
I
got
understand.
this hidden power.
I mean, it's. I mean, until you branch into other characters where they take their position, like Ken's son, Sean, fighting under Ken.
But they already tried to do that.
Ryu with Sakura. No, but I'm saying they need to find a way to transition to where, because I always thought like Street Fighter 3, before it even came out, I was like, okay, Ken and Ryu are gonna be like old, or gonna be like older. And yeah, they were a little bit older, but it was just like, they didn't really decide to make that transition. So maybe with Street Fighter 6, they may make characters older, finally complete the story, because this is what Street Fighter 5 was, is to bridge it doesn't make sense to bridge Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4. They used Street Fighter 5 to bridge that gap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So Street Fighter 6 should be like current. Should be current.
Yeah, exactly, right? It makes no sense. That's exactly what we're talking about, like the whole timeline with Street Fighter. It's just like all jumbled up in a mess.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take into account the comic books, the anime series, the movies. Like I read all of that stuff, and yeah, some of it lines up, and some of it is just all over the place.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I see Octavian saying, and in the comments he was saying how Dan is more popular than Blocker and DJ. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Brian. Yeah, he is a little more popular.
I see no
Yeah,
lies
yeah, that's what I said.
And I do agree. Street Fighter wouldn't be Street Fighter without Ken, Ryu, and even Akuma. It just wouldn't be.
No, it wouldn't.
Like
when Akuma came in, he changed the game. Let's be honest.
He did.
When Akuma came in Super Street Fighter 2, he changed the game.
They would have to find a right way to transition the story. First, finish getting the story right, and then transition to new fighters that were under Ken and Ryu, not just create brand new that have nothing to do with the previous stories. Like you still have Ken's son who's finally kind of growing up now, and then Sakura is under Ryu, and Akuma finally overpowered Akuma, and so it's just kind of like, if they can branch those storylines to branch them out to the future, where people start transitioning and you bring in characters that are relating to what's going on, that can take the place of Ryu and Ken and Akuma, and they do it in a smooth way, then yeah, they can finally kind of phase them out, make old versions of them, like, oh, this is Ryu and he's 60 years old. Ryu and Ken, they're older. And, there's all kind of ways that they could take the storyline and make a great game out of it. So I'm really interested to see what they bring with Street Fighter 6, because they got to come with it, because the next generation of games, especially next generation of consoles and the next generation of fighting games, they're gonna have to come with it. So. But yeah, you gotta have the main characters, and that's like a son, like Octavian, he's talking about Mario, but yeah, I'll say like Mario and Sonic. You can't have a Mario game or a Sonic game without that. Like you could.
Yeah, Star
I
of
mean, you
Luigi.
could, but
Yeah, but
I don't think
that's
it's gonna go
different,
well.
man. That's
Luigi's the main
completely
character.
different. That's completely
It's like,
different, man.
nah,
Yeah, it is. Because the
that
game's not
bro.
called Ken and Ryu. It's called Street Fighter.
I mean, basically it is.
Yeah, it is.
Basically it is.
Because like the thing is, like he's kind of right. Like Ryu's not even that. Like he's an okay character, and at one point he was kind of garbage. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Bitch, when was
Yeah, in
this?
Street Fighter Five, yeah, he was kind of whack for a little while.
That's not his fault, man. No, in the
What do you
beginning
mean
he
it's
was
not
good.
his fault?
They
Of course, it's not his fault.
They nerfed the hell out of him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
You
nerfed
know,
mean-
he was good in the beginning because Daigo
Yeah.
was destroying people, and then they just out of nowhere just just nerf Ryu out all to hell. I'm like, what? Why would you nerf the main character of the series? Like,
That's what I'm
really?
saying, man.
Like, you might as well just take him out of the game. Like, why did you do that? And then Ken was just not good out of the gate. So, and they
Yeah.
couldn't even get his hair right. Like,
Yo,
and his
man, I was
face
like,
right.
when I saw Ken the first time in Street Fighter 5, I'm like, yo, why does he look like Helga Pataki from Hey Arnold?
Yeah, Ken was looking busted, bro. That face was, and Chun-Li's
Look
face.
like the
Straight
creators of
busted.
Marvel Infinite. Same.
Oh
people.
yeah, that too. Yeah,
Same
they messed. They had to
Same
fix
people.
the Chun-Li's face in Marvel Infinite. Like, bro, what? Come on, Capcom.
Look like it was
You
an
got to
8-bit.
get with it.
Mhm.
You got to get with it. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, nerfing the main character, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't even want to get into that subject of just nerfing and buffing. We already know. Like, just buff, make characters good, make any character viable, and you'll be okay. But this whole nerfing, it's like, do you not know how to make fighting games anymore? Like,
I mean, yeah,
come
maybe
on.
it might be time to hang up your developer gloves, man. Like, in terms of
Like, give
Yeah.
it to somebody else. You know, I want them to go back to the 2D animation. I think it looks better and it's smoother anyway.
yeah,
You know,
I agree with
I
that.
wasn't a fan of I wasn't a fan of a 3D fighter. I respect them because of what they are, but it's like I want to go back to the 2D animation.
Yeah.
Give it to Arc Systems. Give it to Arc
That's
Systems.
a dream we could all.
Boy, that game will look just like the anime. Just like the anime, even better.
That's a
Just
dream I can get behind.
please.
That's a dream
Please,
right
someone
Oh yeah.
someone make that connection. Please.
there. I don't care how much money that costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Ken's design in the beginning was hot. Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
hot garbage.
And old Ken with the
Yup.
white color palette. Alpha 3 was man. Oh man. Yo, Alpha 3 in general though was really good though. Like that game
Yeah, it was.
in general was really good. It had like all my favorite characters were from Alpha 3. Like I like Rolento, Sodom, freaking Dan, Adon, you know, like, like pretty much every Cody guy, every character that I really like, I saw in like the Alpha series, and it's like, oh man, these guys are great. And like, then I started playing the other games. I'm like, wait, they're not in all the other games though. Like, what's going on here? And then when they had them show up in Street Fighter 4, I lost it, man. I freaking lost it. You have Cody punching through the wall, turn the beat back. I was like, oh.
Yeah. I was. Oh man. Yeah. I know it's people. You know, they either like they say, you know, Alpha 3 is the best or Alpha 2. I'm an Alpha 2 head, man. Alpha 2 is. I mean, I love Alpha 3, but Alpha 2, oh man, that's where it was at with the custom combos and just the style of Alpha 2, the different versions of Alpha 2, just crazy. But yeah, we're overdue for Alpha 4. I think, bro, if somebody who was smart at Capcom could be like, look, let's give them what they want. Let's do Alpha 4. You know, hey, let's give it to Arc Systems. Let's see what they can do with it. You know, just give them the license and the rights to the characters. Hey, just make sure, you know, it's an alpha game.
Yep.
Bro, they would kill it. Or even Street Fighter 6, you know, partner up with them. Because, you know, they're not going to just give that away. But, hey, partner up with them. You know, come on, bro. Think outside the box. Y'all trying to do this 3D stuff. Leave that to Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, and Monster Hunter. Leave that 3D stuff with those games. Give me my 2D animation. I want to see a game with the next generation of the next level of 2D animation. And right now, the only games that are really stepping up the 2D animation is Guilty Gear. They're the only ones that are just raising the bar in 2D animation. I miss the hand-drawn sprites and the graphics because it just looks so real and it was so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of the 3D stuff. Like, nah, y'all did that with Street Fighter 3, no, with the EX series. Yeah, y'all gave it out. Y'all already did 3D. I want the 2D animation back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, because me and my boys, we used to play, Alpha 1, Alpha 2, Alpha 3 all the time, man. We couldn't stop playing those games. And I'm so glad they did another collection where you can play all those games.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys have it, but
Nope.
but the bro, you gotta get it, bro. You gotta get it. It has every single Street Fighter game in there except for 4, of course, because they re-released 4 so many times. Like if you don't own a copy of it, that's on you. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend the 30th anniversary, let alone just for Street Fighter 3 and the Alpha series alone. So yeah, definitely recommend it.
Really good games.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, I hope I hope they I hope they give us the right characters for the final season of Street Fighter 5.
The
and
final season.
Yeah,
we've been saying that 3 years
season
ago.
5.
We've been saying that 3 years ago.
Yeah, just give us our characters. I don't want no new characters. We don't need no new characters, because all y'all did was like, oh, this is a new character, but it's like it's just a new version of an old character. Like they gave us G instead of Q. They gave us what's her face instead of Rose. It's just like, no, I don't want a clone character that's they're totally different but they're similar. No, give me my character. So yeah.
Yeah, man.
But yeah.
Well,
we got some questions.
Oh, it's fight sessions. What
comments.
up, man?
Yo, what's up, bro? What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Isn't it more costly with the drawings and shading to make 2D games? Figured this was one of the prime reasonings for this. Cost too many artists to pay, etc. Oh yeah, cost too much to pay the artists and stuff like that.
I don't know about that because I think 3D animation costs way more than drawing. It's more time. It's more time consuming. That's what it is. It's more time consuming, but costly. No, 3D animation, boy, go hire a 3D animator and see how much that costs. That stuff is expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, their work is valuable, but it's more time consuming than cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but like I think that's part of the reason why Disney started moving away from doing animated movies and like hand-drawn animated movies as opposed to doing like just the 3D animation, because it's just like, okay, well, it's easier to just do this than it is to, because it's like, I mean, you guys remember, especially like big undertakings, like you remember Lion King, and stuff like that. Even
big
like
undertaking.
even scenes from like The Little Mermaid, like Under the Sea and stuff like that, musical sessions. Oh man, I mean, almost any one of those, just about any single one of those Disney films, like the old ones, even stuff with like the pre-rendered backgrounds, like Fox and the Hound and stuff, like to have to do that, storyboard it, and then ink and color it and everything like that. Like, I mean, my gosh, I can imagine like there. And then I think it's a lot more difficult to go back and correct something that's been drawn than it is to go back and correct something that like you've like done a 3D animating like program. I think it's like, okay, I got to go back and correct that, but I feel like I think it'll be easier, I think, to go back and correct something like that, than it would be to like just be like, all right, well, I did this whole thing and this animation thing was like wrong in this part, so just scrap that and we got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, with 3D animation, you got multiple people working on different parts of it and similar parts on it. But with drawing, that's just that person, and he's just going back, drawing, going back. Oh, gotta, like you say, got to start all over if something's if something's messed up. But with 3D animation, that's just a matter of programming or tweaking something. That's easier than, oh man, these 500 pages of animation. Yeah, we got to start all over.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, I wouldn't want to do that. Nah. Because if you've seen any of the like special features on any like Disney animated movie where you see like they have the paper and then another filter and then another filter and they have like
Right.
that clear background paper on top and they're just like drawing. Then you see them lift it up, draw, put it back down, draw, lift it up. Like that takes so much work.
Yeah.
I'm
Very
like,
much-
nah,
very,
bro.
very
It's
long
just
process.
like you ever made a flip book when you were little? And flip book, and
I know
it's
you're
got the
talking
little
about, yeah.
animation, little stick figure, and he's like, yeah, it took you, hours to do it, but if you messed up, you had to go back, erase.
Yeah.
Nah. So
Yeah.
nah.
Nah,
But yeah.
those days are over.
Yeah, oh man, I think Capcom made a huge mistake of getting away from 2D animation. But as far as fighters,
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. I miss the old 2D animation, especially like from like you said, like Street Fighter 3 and like Third Strike and stuff like that. Like any of the Street Fighter 3s, New Generation, Second Impact, Third Strike. I think I would even go as far. I'm not trying to start any fights or anything like that, but I would even go as far to say that I liked a lot of the music in the old games better, like in Street Fighter 3 and like some of the games
absolutely.
some of the music
Oh,
in the
music's
current
great.
games. I was like, man, I actually kind of like this music better. I was listening to the Third Strike, there's like a selection of tracks in Street Fighter 5 that I like, but I can listen to almost all the tracks from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike and like not skip any tracks. I'll go through the whole thing, like start to finish, from the very first track in the intro, the character selection theme, all the way to the end, Gil's fight theme, all of it. I'll listen to the whole thing and not skip a single track. And then in like Street Fighter 5, I'm like, nah, skip. Oh, Zeku's theme is pretty cool. Skip. Ed, I like Ed's theme. Skip. All right, I'm done listening to this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
it's pretty good though.
I mean, they got some decent songs in Street Fighter 5, but nothing's gonna beat the classic, especially Third Strike. That whole soundtrack, bro. I had the CD collection of Third Strike, all the songs, all the sounds, all the menu sound, everything, bro. And I would just be listening to that from CD 1 all the way to, I think it was like 4 discs or something like that, all the way to the last, just bumping that stuff, man. Like that was some of the best music, man, that they had. Of course, you can't forget the class, like Alpha, bro. Alpha, 1, 2, and 3, bro.
Yeah. Greatness.
Man, that sound was just amazing, bro.
Yeah,
amazing.
There was always almost like for most of the tracks, always something ominous to a lot of the tracks in like the Alpha series. It's like this.
Yep.
There's like, we're fighting, and this is serious business. Do not mess around because you will get killed. Like,
and then they had different like versions, like the beginning, like the same song, but it had a different version. Like at the beginning, I think in the middle, and definitely I know at the end.
Yeah.
Like when your health got lower, it had a different like sound to it, and then of course Alpha would they had like this thing where they were like sharing backgrounds, but one background would be during the day, the other one would be evening, and the other would be at night. So it had like a different sound to it, but it was like the same song.
Yeah.
Like that was amazing how they did that.
Yeah.
I was just loving that. But Third Strike, was fire.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, even the tracks from like the older ones, like even like second Impact and stuff, like some of those tracks were freaking pristine. I mean, throughout like that whole series, like the Alpha and the Street Fighter 3 series, I'm like, man, this is pure gold right here. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 4, I mean, A couple.
They had some good songs. They had some good songs.
Not as good as Alpha 3.
Nah, not there's.
Nah.
It's like even like going back like to like for another fighting game, Tekken. Like I remember almost every track to me in Tekken 2 was complete like gold, like all of it. I remember almost all the tracks. Tekken 2, Tekken 3, Tekken 4, some of Tekken 4, Tekken 5, almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Almost all of them. Some of Tekken 6 and some of Tekken 7. But it feels like the longer we go on, I mean, just in my opinion, a majority of the tracks that they have in like fighting games become become more and more they're not as memorable as some of the old ones, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. No, I definitely agree on that.
Yeah. So true.
A lot of people I remember used to say like, you know, they thought that not Street Fighter, but Tekken 3 had the best soundtrack. I don't know if I would say that. I think Tekken 3 soundtrack is good, but I think the best I think the most memorable soundtrack to me from Tekken would have to be Tekken 5. I think Tekken 5 had the best soundtrack.
Yeah, I like Tekken 5. I think probably out of all of them, I was rocking with Tekken 4 a lot. Tekken 4.
I feel that.
That soundtrack was it was different. It was different.
Yeah.
Like I think that's when they kind of like took they were going into a different level. They were going to a different level. Once they reached Tekken 4, it was over from then. It was over. But, But yeah. Oh yeah, Tekken Tag.
Oh yeah,
yes.
Tekken Tag things were pretty great too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ain't lying on that.
Tekken Tag 2. When Tekken Tag 2 came out, I listened to some of the tracks in the game, and all I could think of was, wow, I sure am glad they let you just get the songs from the old games and put them in there, because otherwise I'd be in trouble. I was like, some of this stuff is not great. It's okay, but I'm like, yeah, let me get this from Tekken 1 and Tekken 2. Let me get this from Tekken 2. Let me get this from Tekken Tag. Let me get this from Tekken 3. Give me a couple from Tekken 5, and we should be okay. Tekken 6, you know, I mean, yeah.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I know.
Oh yeah. I agree with that. Like, yeah, the character select screen music.
Oh yeah.
I think hands down, I'm gonna have to give it to Third Strike. Honorable mention, Alpha 2. But yeah, Third Strike character menu, music, select screen music. Oh my goodness, boy, you get in that character select screen, you ready to go? You ready to go? But oh yeah, and Marvel 2, hands down,
gonna take it
hands down, top. I would say top 5. Yeah, that's in top 5. I don't care what nobody said. That's top 5. Yes. Yeah. I definitely agree on that.
Yeah, I think like Tekken 3, Tekken 2 maybe, I would say they're really good. Tekken 4, I think, was not as memorable. I think the character select screen on that one wasn't as memorable. Like the other tracks like Bit Crusher and like, you know, and Fear and stuff like that, and Digirhythm and stuff, like those were great. But the character select screen, you know, just wasn't as memorable as other tracks on there. But yeah, I would say like those, like Third Strike, character select screen, definitely one of the best. I mean, that's one of those tracks that gets you, not only are you grooving to it, but you're kind of getting hyped for the next match. And then of course you hit the select. Oh yeah, now I got the picture. I'm like, yes, I've been waiting for this.
Exactly, man. Boy, the most dope announcer in the games, man. One of the most dopest.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Select to make your first pick. Let's get it on down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
7, 6. Yes. Yeah, he knows. Oh man, we was rapping that, bro. We was rapping that.
Fight Session says the Tekken 4 soundtrack was better than the game.
What? Whoa! I don't know, man. People were kind of getting into that game. Man. I remember people at the arcades playing the heck out of that game. I don't know, man. I mean, maybe I guess towards the end. I don't know how it was towards the end, but in the beginning, people were all over it. But I don't know.
I think I think the big issue
Shots.
people had with Tekken 4, I think wasn't that the first game where they implemented walls? That was the very first game where they had had walls and stuff in it. Number one, because every other fight, there was no ring outs or anything like that, and there was no boundaries. So you would just be fighting on like an infinite plane for the entire match. But in Tekken 4, they're like, all right, enough of that. There are actual walls, but then they also had like variable elevation. So you would be fighting on stairs and stuff, which I gotta admit, I kind of miss. To be honest with you, some people didn't like that, but I kind of miss that. That was kind of that added that. But I mean, that at the same time, I can understand how some people feel that might have like messed with the game a little bit, like messed with some combos, messed with like setups and stuff, having variable elevation. I mean, for me, like that might, but for me, a thing like that might be like having items on in Super Smash Brothers. Like that is a random and unwanted element that you're just throwing that just appears right in the middle of my game, and it's like, or even worse, tripping, and like, man, and like Smash Brothers.
Get started on that,
bro. Holy smokes! Talk about like one of the worst mechanics to put in a game ever. It's like, all right, I just tripped and fell. What?
I heard about that, but I was just like, man, I'm glad I didn't have to go through that. I was like, nah, that would not have been for me.
Nah, it's horrible.